Welcome back, people. This is episode number 7 of the Man United stream. Yes, we are on Friday, actually. It's a Friday afternoon and the sun is beaming and everything looks hot and ready for the weekend. Lovely weekend ahead, people. Anyway, let's get talking about Manchester United. Yes, what is going on in this transfer window? Lots of news coming out this morning about transfers, possible transfers and whatnot. First things first, what's going on with the takeover? I know everyone wants to know about that, and the sources I'm hearing from my sources that nothing has been advised, nothing's gone on in terms of the Rain Group announcement. Now, if you recall yesterday in my episode, I gave insight to what's going on, and I did say that it looks unlikely that the Rain Group are going to make an announcement. It's just that they are not coming to the fore as to telling the public, the fans out there, what's going on. They don't want to do that. They've never done that. And the Rain Group are a mirror image of the Glazers. So this is why the Glazers have chosen the Rain Group, because they're highly secretive. They don't really give any press conferences. They don't give any press releases. They don't give any information as to what's going on in the sale process, takeover process, which is a huge shame. But what else do we expect from the Glazers and their representatives? What were we thinking? All of a sudden that they'll have a conscience and they will decide to change their tact and become all nice and become the owners that we always wanted? Of course not. In fact, they were going to become worse. I mean, this is their way of punishing the fans who have been protesting against them for decades, for the ones who've been there from day one saying that we don't want the Glazers to take over. They are not happy selling Manchester United. That's the other thing we need to get into our heads, which is these guys want to hold on to Manchester United. It's their cash cow. It's their personal piggy bank that keeps on giving money. It's the goose that lays the golden egg. It keeps on giving them money each year without them having to invest any money of theirs in there. They've not put a single penny into Manchester United since they've bought Manchester United, but yet Manchester United is paying them lots of money each year. Each year they're taking dividends as well as paying off the interest what they've got for the loan to buy Manchester United. They're making lots of money on top of that. And yes, they use some of the money that Manchester United make in buying players. But the reality is that these guys do not want to sell Manchester United. And this is why there's such a lethargic approach to the takeover. They really would like there to be no bidders. They really would like that all the bidders to disappear. In fact, run out of patience. They want the Qatari group, Sheikh Yassim, and they want Sir Jim Ratcliffe gone. They don't actually want them on the table. They don't want them to be making offers. They want them to say, actually, we've had enough. We don't want it. We're not buying Manchester United. Glazers can keep it. So the Glazers can then say, well, look, we did go through all the process. We did what the fans wanted, and in the end, no one came to the table and no one wanted to see it through, and now you're stuck with us. So everyone's going to settle down again, sit back in their seats and watch Man United carry on in this dire situation for many years to come. I don't want to sound really negative, and I know that's something that many people will be like, right, what the hell is this guy about? Why is this so negative? But it's just, I'm trying to give you an alternative look on things as to why this is going on and why it's so slow. Of course I want the United to be sold to anybody but the Glazers, but my preference has always been and always will be Sheikh Yassim, for obvious reasons. Number one, he's a cash buyer. He's got no debt that he's taking on, and when that means no debt, means that he's not in a position of weakness. He's in a strong position. If he's bought the club, he doesn't have to go and sit and listen to commands of these bankers or any other party that's not really got any interest in Manchester United. What we do know is that the Glazers have got no interest in Manchester United. They've got no interest in its future. They've got no interest in the current position that the Manchester United are in. They're not even football fans, let's be honest. They don't even enjoy football. They're Americans. They've been brought up in America. They like American football and American sports. They know a lot about it. They don't actually know much about Manchester United and the heritage. Yet, yes, they have tried to kind of show that they do know a lot and they care. But anybody who was a Manchester United fan would look at Manchester United and say, actually, look, I want the best for Manchester United. Look, and this is why I've said it many occasions. Sir Jim Ratcliffe, if he was a true Manchester United fan, he would move out of the way and say, sell this club to Sheikh Yassim and let him invest the billions of pounds that he's saying he will to transform the fortunes of this club. I'd rather see that than me take over with a huge amount of debt, keep the Glazers in there and live a life where it's just going to be the same old. Nothing really is going to change. This dude, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, has had the Nice club in France. He's had Nice as his football club for some time. He's done nothing for it. He's not done anything useful for the club. I mean, they're somewhere in mid-table or bottom half the French league. That is not impressive, especially when you think that the French league is almost like a farmers league. I mean, PSG, Lyon, Marseille are the teams that stick out, but other than that, there's nothing else. So being in the mid half or bottom half of the table as a club is not impressive in that league. That tells you Sir Jim Ratcliffe is just after a trophy cabinet. He's not going to invest any. He's breaking the bank in getting Manchester United. That's his thing. He's getting Manchester United on loan, just as the Glazers did. So why would we change? It'd be jumping out of the kettle into the pot, in my personal opinion. That's why I'm 100% behind Sheikh Yassim. Moving on from this takeover, because each day I do open up with a segment of what the update is in terms of takeover. That is our takeover news. We're still waiting on an announcement. I'm still fingers crossed hoping that there might be a miracle and the Rain Group somehow make a statement or push out a press release saying that the exclusivity has been given to Sheikh Yassim, and give us some kind of indication of how long the process may take. Are we looking at the whole transfer window being messed up by this takeover, which is the most likely position in my eyes, but we'll wait and see. Anyway, moving on to transfer news. Mason Mount, yes, this has turned into a mini saga in itself, isn't it? Mason Mount, everyone thought it would be a straightforward purchase of a player who's not been playing well for Chelsea, and Chelsea in itself haven't been playing well. Chelsea are happy to sell lots of players. They've been getting rid of lots of players from their team. Havertz has been sold to Arsenal. They've got rid of Kante, and you'd think Mason Mount wasn't an important part of the team and they'd sell him. But I guess when Manchester United come knocking, you play hardball because you can do, and you know that they've got money to spend, and they'll be pressured into buying someone from, especially when it's gone public. And this is the problem. Once the transfer negotiations and the offers go public, Manchester United are in a position where they don't really want to be embarrassed, and they don't want the tag of, oh well, they missed out on that player, and then there's lots of repercussions as to why the player didn't want to come to Manchester United, what's happened. In this case, Manchester United are in a better position, and they need to kind of take it easy. Apparently, they're going to make a further offer of £55 million today, and that is their final offer for Mason Mount. Now, that is a lot of money for someone who's in his final year of his contract, and you'd arguably say, do they need him as a must in the team? I don't think they do. They've got a similar player in Eriksen and in Bruno Fernandes. So why would they go for Mason Mount and make him a priority? I don't think he's a priority. He's a side issue. Yes, if they get him, brilliant. And yes, he'd add some depth to the squad. But would he be a massive signing? If we ended the transfer window with him as our main signing, that would be awful. Absolute horrendous transfer window. So look, I think they need to nip it in the bud. 55 million it is, take it or leave it. If it's not going to sign and Chelsea are not going to agree to it, goodbye Chelsea. Go and sell him to the Saudi League, go and sell him somewhere else and get your worth out of it, or just hold on to him for another year and you can lose him on a free transfer, because that's what's going to happen. They clearly do not think they think they can get more out of Manchester United, but I think Man United need to play hardball on this one and don't accept anything like any offers that they want in the region of 60 million. That would just be ridiculous and will become a laughing stock, and we need to set a precedent here. If we keep on paying money like this, stupid money like this, to teams, they're going to always pull our pants down whenever it comes to any player that we want to buy. So we need to set a precedent. No, Manchester United aren't going to pay silly money. If you don't want to sell to us, do not sell to us. There's other players better than Mason Mount, in my opinion, that you can go and buy. So let's leave it at that. Next, Mason that we're talking about Mason, so let's move on to another Mason, actually, Mason Greenwood. The social media's been going crazy last night because Mason Greenwood was spotted training in a private facility somewhere around Manchester, and it got tongues wagging saying that Mason Greenwood is set to return to Manchester United. From my sources, there's nothing on the horizon of Mason Greenwood returning to Manchester United. He is training and Manchester United still are in touch with him, but there's no possibility of him returning to Manchester United just yet. Although, and this is a big question mark on the whole situation, if Manchester United are unable to sign a new striker, and the market looks like it's going to be that way, there's a strong possibility Mason Greenwood might be called back into the squad. Now, would that be a good move or a bad move? I think it's going to be a huge issue, because there's lots of fans out there who clearly do not want him back anywhere near Manchester United. I'm torn, to be honest with you. I'm 50-50 on this one. I do like Mason Greenwood. I think he's a great potential, but again, there are issues that have taken place, the things that have taken place clearly that would affect not just the fan base, but also the players that are going to be sharing the dressing room with him. Personally, I think he's bringing a lot of baggage with him, and do we need that type of baggage right now is the question. I'm thinking, hold on, let's wait and see. Let's try and sign someone who's coming in and who's going to bring some fresh blood into Manchester United. Maybe Mason Greenwood isn't the right approach right now, but who knows? If we get desperate, we may have to go to Mason Greenwood. There is also talk of Onana, the goalkeeper from Inter, coming and joining Manchester United. I think he's very keen on joining Manchester United. I've heard from my sources that he would really wants this move, and it's just the clubs agreeing some fee. I think personally that will take place. I think that will happen by the end of the transfer window. I think Onana will be a Manchester United goalkeeper, and he is very good, and I think he will do well at Manchester United. De Gea is on the way out, so let's see what it all transpires. Look, guys, please smash that like button and please subscribe to the channel, and I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. I'm hoping to bring you something tomorrow, but if not, let's wait and see what happens with this entire Manchester United saga. Hoping that the announcement comes as quick as possible, that we have got a new owner, and then we can really start looking at who to sign. Then we can go wild. I mean, it's like going on a shopping spree. Right now, we ain't got the funds, we ain't got the card, we ain't got the wallet in our pocket to go shopping. We're currently window shopping. That's what it feels like, window shopping, and I hate window shopping. I like knowing that I've got the money in my back pocket and I can go out there and buy whatever I need to buy, and that's what I want. I want the takeover to be completed so we know exactly what we're doing, and we can go out there and buy whichever player we need and fill them positions, but obviously in a more calculated approach, not simply just going and buying every Tom, Dick and Harry thinking that they'll come into Manchester United and do well for us. So I'm of the approach of going a bit like Newcastle, buying decent players, and they're actually going on a shopping spree this transfer window, so who knows, they're buying a lot of players from Serie A. Anyway guys, gonna leave it there. Like I said, like and subscribe. Catch you later. Goodbye.